Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are going to be doing the part 2 of the Retique liquid wood video. So part 1 is already up on my channel. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure you check that out. But this is part 2, which is going to be using the graining tool. So it's a totally different look. It's a different process. And so we're just going to go ahead and get started and dive in so I can show you guys how cool this is. If you have a piece where you want that more rustic wood look to it, the first video had the classic look, which was literally just brushing on the stain and wiping it back. What this is going to do is make it look like it's got a real heavy wood grain to it. So I have 2 of the wood graining tools, and I've got my board with the 1 layer already of the painted liquid wood, and now we'll go through the process of how you do the rest of it. Okay, so let's dive in. All right, you guys, so we have the first coat of the liquid wood in light wood color on here. I went ahead and painted this on in preparation this morning because in order to do the wood graining look, you need 2 coats of that. And so I wanted my first coat to be down. I just painted it on. I used their Wonder Brush, which they included in my packaging, which is actually really cool. Look how nice and thin that brush is. It put on the liquid wood paint really, really nicely, so I like this. I did not use this in my first video. I used my Klingon brush, and so I wanted to try this one out, and no problem at all. Put that paint on really nicely. So, in order to do the wood graining look, you wood grain the paint, not the stain. So that's why I put on 1 coat to begin with. Right now, we'll go ahead and apply our second coat of the liquid wood paint with our Wonder Brush, and then while it's wet, we use our wood graining tool. I have a small one and a large one. I think that I'll use the large one even though this is a small board, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to try it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm now applying my second coat of the liquid wood paint and just getting it on there nice and evenly. Getting on a nice coat, not super heavy. I don't have a ton on my brush. But just going ahead and covering up the board, going back and forth to get nice even strokes, which isn't going to matter too much since we're using the wood graining tool. So now I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. I have my second coat on. It is wet. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit more so you guys can really see the board. Then what I'm going to do is take, now you can put this on, this has an attachment so you can put it on something. I'm just going to go ahead and hold it today. I think if I were working on a bigger piece of furniture, I would definitely use the attachment. But today we're just going to use this. So the way you use the wood graining tool, they give you instructions, which is great. You can literally just glide it straight on, or you can kind of wave it a little bit to give it some more character. So we are just going to try it and see what happens today. Here's the great thing I'm going to mention to you. If you don't like the way it looks, guess what? You take your paintbrush, since it's wet, and you go ahead and you start over. So let's go ahead. We're going to start at the very beginning. I'm going to drag it. I'm going to roll it. And I'm just going to move it along. And I don't like it. And you guys can't see it on camera. It's not very good. I think for this board, I'm going to use the smaller graining tool. I think it's too bulky for me to try to use this big graining tool. And so, yeah, I'm going to also zoom in for you guys. I went ahead and zoomed in for you guys so that will make it a little bit, it's kind of hard to see maybe on camera because of the light wood paint. We're going to use the small graining tool and we're going to give this a try again. So I'm literally just kind of, oh, I like that better. Yep, I like the small graining tool better for this board. So, okay. And then this is weird up here, but I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of fake it and see what I get. Okay, so you can see that on camera. Sweet. We're going to go ahead now. We're going to let this dry. And then we're going to come back when it's dry. I give it about 2 hours for a normal size piece. I noticed that because this is such a small board, it's drying really pretty quickly, but normal dry time, 2 hours before you apply your stain. So we're going to go ahead and let this set up. We will come back and we'll apply our stain, and you're going to be surprised at how well this looks like real wood grain. And this is an MDF piece of molding. So yeah. Stay tuned. Okay, so I started to show you up close and then I realized that the board is literally the same color as my counter. So it wasn't showing up. So I want to show you guys here so you can get a good look at it in the light reflection. So here it is here. Here's our MDF. I'm going to come in really close with our wood grain. So how cool is that? Not very difficult to do. It does take a little getting used to working with that wood grain tool. I've never worked with one before. So if you have, then you have the advantage on me. But once you kind of get the hang of it and you like the look, then good to go. And if you don't, the best part is you just take your brush with the wet paint and you go over it and start again. That part I love. So that is really cool. So we're going to go ahead and go back into close-up mode. We're going to apply our stain and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to try layering some different stains to see how it looks. So let's go ahead and get our All right, so I do want to show you guys how easily the wood graining tools clean up. Literally just went and took water to them and with my fingers just kind of cleaned them out. So that is super, super easy. Now, the one thing I did mention to you is that you can use your stain of choice. If you have a favorite stain, then you can use it, which is cool. I like that. They do have a great variety of colors, and I do have 2 of them that I got in my pack. I am gloved up because for this portion of the video, I do not want to get stain all over myself. I am going ahead and using a foam brush. I use good quality foam brushes. Not all are created equal, so just keep that in mind. And let's go ahead and get our stain on. I'm super excited to see how this looks because I've not used this graining tool process yet, so yay, I'm excited. Now the top portion, I don't really have the graining tool on there because, well, you can see it would be really difficult to get that graining tool to glide nicely and put a nice even look on there. So the graining tool is literally on the bottom portion, so just applying the stain. Now each stain, keep in mind, has different instructions. The Varathane says to wait 2 to 3 minutes to allow the stain to penetrate the surface. That will dictate the amount of depth that you get out of the color. So we're going to go ahead and let this sit for just about 2 minutes and then come back and we're going to wipe it back. What I use to wipe my stain back, I've traditionally always used bag of rags from Lowe's. They're just t-shirts that, you know, are cut up and they're great. They're actually really good quality. But lately I have transitioned into using the blue shop towels, just these guys here, super easy. I get a 6-pack of them at the hardware store and they seem to, in my opinion, do a little bit better of a job than the bag of rags was doing. They absorb, but they don't pull off too much. There's no lint involved. So I kind of like using those now better than I did the bag of rags. So in about a minute and a half, I'm going to come back and we're going to use our blue shop towels to wipe off the stain and reveal how it looks. All right, we have been about 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and wipe this off. I just fold my blue shop towel in a square, and then that way I kind of just fold it over and I can use the clean side once I get off the majority of my stain. I find that I use about 3 of these for a big piece, so they work really, really well, you guys. All right, here we go. Are you ready? I zoomed in even closer so you guys could see. Oh, that is cool. Now, keep in mind, like I said before, this top part does not have the graining tool on it. I actually really like that color with the light wood showing underneath. So you can build up your stain as much as you want as far as what color you're trying to achieve, what look you want. Wow, I really like that. I'm going to show you guys holding it up in just a moment because I really feel like you don't get the whole picture of it sitting here on the workbench. But this is super cool. All right, so Briarsmoke is kind of a brownish gray. It's such a cool color, and that's one of the reasons that I use this so much. It's just such a beautiful color. But I think what I'm going to do is layer up one more coat after this dries in an hour because I want more depth to it. I actually don't mind this light wood look underneath, but I do want a little more depth and color out of this. So I am going to go ahead and layer it up, but let's go ahead and show you at that other angle so you guys can really see what it looks like. But I gotta tell you, this is really cool. Okay, so I'm really liking the color of it right now, but I am still going to put the 2 coats on because I just kind of want to see what it does. Very rarely do I ever use a stain that is 1 coat. Now this Varathane does say 1 coat coverage, But let me tell you, I use it all the time. And to achieve a nice look, you kind of have to do more than one coat. But if you just want that wash, then it is a good look. So let me show you guys. So here it is. It is really cool. It really does mimic wood grain. I love the way that looks. Now I am going to show you a still photo at the end so you guys can see as well in a different light. I get a lot of light in my shop, so sometimes trying to show you guys on camera something doesn't come out as beautifully as I'm seeing it in person. So let me try that again. Actually, it does. So part one was fun and I enjoyed doing it, and it was really cool to see how you could make something look stained that wasn't real wood. But using the graining tool, like, I'm super impressed. It really looks like wood. If I had a large piece and you didn't know better, because you guys know this is an MDF board, and obviously when you see it, you know it is a piece of molding. If you didn't know, then I'm telling you, this looks pretty darn good. So let me show you the end result. I'm going to show you from this angle here because that way the lighting kind of gives you a really nice, but I mean, it came out really cool. I am going to layer up another coat of this stain because I want to see what it looks like. I actually don't mind this color. This looks more like a wash to me. I was kind of hesitant to think, that light wood color that you paint on is kind of a nude color, and I thought, what's it going to look like? And I really like it. So I am going to layer it up just so that we can see together how it changes and transforms, but so far, I'm impressed. I'm really liking this. So stay tuned. We're going to come back in an hour after the stain is dry, load up another coat, and then I might even try layering with their stain on top of it. Not sure yet if I'm going to go that far. Let's see how coat 2 of the Varathane stain comes out. But you guys, this is really cool. So all right, we'll be back. All right, you guys, that is it. We are at the end of the video. I'm going to show you the practice board here in just a moment, and then we're going to go ahead and just do a quick recap about the product and the steps that I took to achieve this look. So here's the board. So how cool is that? I'm going to show you guys really up close so you can get a good look. At the end of the video, I will also showcase a still photo so you guys can really see what it looks like. So I went ahead and added a second coat of stain because I wanted to see how the color would change, how the depth would look, and I'm very happy with it. If you were going for just a wash of color, you could do one coat of stain. That will depend on the stain you used. Today we used a different product by Varathane. I use it all the time. They do recommend that you can use different stains, so I like that. I love that this company puts out a product but also says, hey, you can use different ones if you choose to. They will be compatible and work with our products, so I do love that. I'm very impressed. This, as you know, is an MDF board from Lowe's. Definitely not real wood. We made it look like real wood today. Using the wood graining tool for me, because I'm brand new to it, just took a moment to kind of get used to working with it. The greatest part about it was, if I didn't like the way it looked, I took my paintbrush and went back over it, started over. So that was awesome. So I really, really enjoy working with this. Now, why would I work with this versus sanding a piece? The quick answer is the labor. The labor involved sometimes to strip and sand a piece down to bare wood takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort, and it takes the tools to have that and maybe the space to have that. You might not have that. So this is a great choice. Even though I have that option, I will use this because I think it's such a cool idea. So I will supplement this in with some of sanding my pieces to bare wood and doing it that way because I really enjoyed working with it and creating a really neat look without having to do all of that sanding or stripping. So really quick, let's recap how simple this is. Now keep in mind, this isn't really a time saver as far as you still have to wait in between for things to dry. So it is still going to take you some time. I don't want you to think, hey, I can stain in an hour and I'm done. I had a question the other day on my other video about, is it a one-step process? No, it's not. Even if you don't use the wood graining tool, it is not a one-step process. Just so you know, there are steps you have to take. So what we did is we painted our board. First coat, I did that before I started the video. Second was applying the second coat on camera with you guys, and we used the wood graining tool while that liquid wood was wet. Once we liked the way it looked, We left it alone and let it dry. Came back an hour later. They do recommend 2, which I would recommend for a piece of furniture. In this case, we were working with a very small board, so I went ahead, waited an hour. It was perfectly dry. We applied our first coat of stain, wiped it off. I waited an hour because I was using the Varathane 1 hour stain, applied my second coat, and that's where I stopped and I showed you guys. So the very final step would be to seal that piece. Now you want to, different stains are going to call for different times, dry times. So you want to make sure you read the directions on the can. I was thinking of layering this up today with another color that they sent me, but I didn't. I'm going to leave it alone at this point. But yeah, super impressed with it, you guys. This is such a cool product. I'm so glad I stumbled upon it. Like I said in video 1, I had seen it all over and I thought, okay, it is time. I need to try this and share this with you guys. So if you have any questions or positive comments, please make sure you leave them down below. I definitely will get back to you. I love answering all of them and hearing your feedback. I'm definitely not an expert on this product yet, but if you have a question, I will definitely get you an answer. Thank you so much for being subscribers. Keep subscribing so you can get all of my videos, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.